Welcome to Life Success. I'm your host, Laurie, and welcome to the first episode I'm talking about on actually transforming your life within 6 months. This is one of them that we'll talk about a bit more deeper on the subject. So I'm glad you're here. Let me guess why you clicked on this podcast. Well, maybe you're feeling stuck and maybe you're feeling a bit more like you just want to improve on yourself. So let's start on a Monday, for example. For the past 6 months, or maybe you're just tired and overloaded and feel like life is happening to you instead of for you. Here's what I know, that you don't need to have years to change, but you do have a life that you can change, and you don't need to complete personality overhaul, but just enough to feel like you can overcome it. So you don't need to be a perfectionist, just be mindful. What you need is 6 months and a system that actually works for you. So let's look at all these pros and cons of this. So here's what I know. You don't need years to change your life within 6 months. You don't need to have a complete personality overhaul. You don't need to be a perfectionist. But however, this podcast is for you. In several episodes, I will be going to walk you through all the exact framework that you can use to transform any area of your life in just 6 months. So really not raha inspiration that fades by Tuesday. A real actionable system that you can use to make it happen. But first, let me tell you that why 6 months is the magic number. 6 months. Think about it. Where you are 6 months ago, really, you could be elsewhere doing other things. What about what you're worried about, what you're worrying on or working on, and what do you want to do with yourself? What do you want to do with your life? And what your daily routine looks like? And chances are a lot has changed in the past 6 months. Lose weight in 6 months, but some things, right? But 6 months is long enough to build a real momentum, but short enough that you can actually see these changes and finishing line on the other side. This is why 6 months works on overtime frame, and you can actually make this happen. First, it's realistic, between 1 days to build a habit, and that my myth is, research shows that it takes average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic, and 6 months gives you almost 3 full circles of habits to formation. You can build, adjust, and solidify change. So second, it creates urgent without panic. So if you panic, it's not going to help you. So realistically, you're going to be finding it hard. So years too far away, your brain can't really get excited about something that is far out. But 6 months, you can, and that's a close enough feeling to accomplish something significant. It counts for life. So have bad weeks, you're going to have, get sick at some point, you're going to have emergencies, you're going to lose motivation. 6 months and still finish strongly. And here are the things that most people miss are transformation. This isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about finding what works. And it's about strategic, consistent change in the right areas that create so many effects in your entire life. Explore together. And transformation framework. So let me introduce you to the framework we'll be using throughout the podcast, called the 5-pillar system, to help you transform your life without burning out, overwhelming yourself, and clarity. Okay? You can't transform without you defining. Most people fail and change, and because it's a real challenge. If you don't actually define it, you'll fail. So that vague goal, get healthy, be happier, not a destination, and knowing what you want to do with your life, what you want to experience. And in our upcoming episodes, I'll show you how to get the crystal clear on what that transformation actually looks like for you, and not an Instagram version, so that you're not your parents' version, your version only. Okay? Pillar 2, systems over goals. Goals are important, but systems are what gets you there. If you want to lose weight, a goal is a number on the scale. A system is going to the gym 3 times a week, prepping on Sundays. We're going to focus on building systems that make success, and basically that helps us overall. And pillar 3 is minimum viable day, where this is a game changer, absolute minimum, and you need to do each day to move forward, not your ideal day. It might be an ideal day, but not your perfect routine. Your minimum viable day keeps you going when your motivation fails, when life gets chaotic, and when everything fails and it's hard, right? And it feels too hard. So pillar 4, strategic quitting. Here's something that nobody talks about. Transformation isn't just about you add to your life, it's about what you remove. You need to quit things, the wrong relationships, time-wasting habits, commitment that drains you. We'll talk about how to quit these strategically, and guilt-free scenarios. So pillar 5 is progress tracking, measuring these areas in your situation. So the most people track are the wrong things that you track in ways that demotivate you. I'll show you simple tracking tools that you can actually use. I use for habits every day, and you can actually just create a list and tick them off. Keeps you motivated and shows you exactly where you're winning. Even on hard days, these 5 pillars work hard together, and there's no separate strategies. There are just, over the next few episodes, we're going to dive deep into each one. Podcast, well, here's how this works. Each week, I'm going to be releasing a new episode diving into specific aspects of your transformation. Some episodes that will be good for this whole tactical scenario and giving you whole stepping stones to walk on, and others will be more mindset focused and helping you overcome all these things that are going around in your head about the mental blocks that keep you stuck, because these mental blocks will be a problem. Everything to dealing with setbacks, from building confidence to managing your energy, from financial habits to relationships to boundaries. And here's my promise to you. No filer, I will give you something you can actually use, and I respect your time too much to waste it. So I also want this to be a conversation. If you have questions, topics you want to cover, or you want something to go with that specific transformation journey, reach out to me, contact me on social media, because I am on Facebook and Instagram. So I do have a website as well. So get in contact with me and let's figure it out. Action steps. Okay, before we wrap this up, I want to give you something to do right now, not tomorrow, not Monday, right now. Here's your first action step. I want you to complete and call the 6 months vision exercise. Get your phone out or a piece of paper, set a time for 5 minutes and write down an answer to this question. If we're sitting down for 6 months from today, what are you wanting to do in the next 6 months in your life? What do you want to change? What's different? How do you feel? What does your typical day look like for you? And don't overthink it. Just be mindful of it. And don't worry, because at the end of the day, we will find a ways through this. And realistic on how you get there, and just write it. Let yourself dream a little, and this is your North Star. This is where we're working towards it. Once you've done that, I want you to identify one of these areas where you want to see the most transformational area, and just one. Is it your health, your career, your relationships, your finances, your confidence, your emotional status? Where do you want to change it? How do you want to change it? Pick one, and we're going to start from there. And because here's the truth, when you transform one area, your whole life changes slowly over time. And then you don't need to fix anything at once. You just need that one area, and all of a sudden things change. For this episode, we covered the 6 months. It's a perfect time frame, and I introduced you to the 5-pillar system. Now you've got the first action steps. Is defining your clarity on what you want to do, walking you through exact process of defining transformation means for you, how to set your goals and actually motivate you instead of overwhelming yourself. And before you go, I found this episode, or do you mean your favorite, subscribe to my podcast so you don't miss an episode, and follow me on social media, because you need that support. It takes one person to actually encourage you, and I hope I can do that for you guys. And remember, 6 months from now, you're either going to wish you started today, or you're going to be doing it now and be grateful that you did. This episode, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.